Ladies and gentlemen, now today I'm in a great mood. I woke up, I see tomorrow's patch, we are finally getting the revamped version of Fort Solgres, which in my opinion is at least 3 to 5 times better than the current version. But also on top of that, we're getting the improvements to enhancing gear. So gear no longer has any chance to fail, and you can instantly like 5-star fully max out a piece of gear from a single click. So it speeds up the process by about 50 times. It reduces the cost in terms of redstones and gold, and it just makes it so much easier and less tedious upgrading gear sets, man. So I'm so happy to see this, man. But Fort Solgres revamp, boy, oh boy, am I excited for this one, man. The revamp is actually crazy in so many areas, and I just want to talk you through some of the kind of core changes and stuff that's coming, because again, anvil farming is probably like the most eyebrow raising thing for a lot of people. You tend to get an hourglass, I think it's either every week or every single maintenance, so I've had 7 total since it's released and I've only used it once. So yeah, you've got an anvil farming dungeon, and this one is really good if you've got like some decent gear. You will need like a fairly beefy team in order to take advantage of this, but we're going to be going over a few different setups in order to farm this dungeon on a video tomorrow. And also when it comes to the standard like entry dungeon, currently as you'll see on global, there's like 3 different ones. There's like a book farming dungeon, there's enhanced materials, and there's also a gold. So this has actually been unified now into a single dungeon, and the first time you clear some of the higher difficulties as well, you do get a super awakening coin, which is really nice. And I think the very top one has an even higher chance now of dropping SSR pendants in comparison to the top one on global. So over the span of a month, that's, you know, probably a good additional stack of SSR pendants for a lot of players out there. But again, it's completely unified, so instead of having like gold in one and hero enhanced materials, this new one has both gold and hero enhanced materials. However, you don't have books in this one, unfortunately, but the thing is as well, you also have completely revamped book dungeons and also a completely revamped gold dungeon as well, and the book dungeon is so much better than it previously was, and the gold dungeon is crazy, man. It's so incredibly overpowered, but also as well, the events that usually have their own separate battle tab can now be found in Fort Solgres, kind of under this one. And again, this update is going to go live on global tomorrow, so it just kind of makes it a bit easier to see that. Again, there is a new gold dungeon, so you no longer have like limited entries based off gold keys, and the drop rates are so much better than they previously were. So during a half stamina weekend on the Japanese version with my teams, I can farm anywhere between about 210 to 250 million gold in that 48-hour period. It honestly is incredibly ridiculous, but the entry to farming the top level gold dungeon is 48 stamina. So again, during half stamina weekends, this is going to be reduced to 24 there. So if you are a free-to-play player, this is definitely what you want to keep your eye on kind of moving forward, because it's so good to farm and like sell all of these. The big pro to farming gold in comparison to books as well is you sell gold for a 20% additional bonus if you've progressed so far in story, that you've unlocked that permanent what is it, Veronica buff there. So yeah, this is just like crazy improvement to gold farming over book farming, and I think a lot of global players are going to realize just how insane this improvement is. Not kind of the next coming weekend, but the one after that when half stamina is active. But yeah, just make sure you are ready to do that when it does come around, because yeah, this is honestly going to be so incredibly crazy, but I'm really looking forward to it. And also the book dungeons get a little bit of a revamp. Again, there are harder stages in comparison. They've kind of been streamlined a bit, so you've only got 5 every single book class there. And the top one is a bit more beefy, but it does have the drop chance of 6-star books, so it becomes a lot easier to farm the books that you need. And yeah, these also sell for a fair bit of gold, but in comparison to the value of the gold dungeon, at least to the best of my knowledge, when it does come to half stamina weekend, you do still want to farm the gold dungeon in comparison. If you are looking for gold, and again, gold is just such a valuable thing because you can use it in the equipment salvage event, and then yeah, hopefully get lots of anvils, stones to awaken gear and equipment, and hopefully quite a few hammers as well. So yeah, I'm very excited for this revamp, man. But also on top of that, again, we are getting the improvements to upgrading gear, and this is is honestly just so incredibly amazing. So if you've got a piece of gear, all you need to do is press the enhance, and then if you go for auto enhance, turn that on, you select it to the rank you want and also the level you want, and then providing you've got enough materials, you can just click a button and then it's, you know, instantly maxed out +5. So yeah, it just saves so much time, because currently, like, it's about 3 to 5 minutes, I think, to upgrade a single piece of equipment, like, depending on your RNG and rolls, and it's just, like, very tedious having to go back in and stuff, especially if you're looking to upgrade a lot of different pieces as well. So honestly, man, it just makes it like 50 times faster. It is such a good improvement. It reduces the cost in terms of gold, reduces the cost in terms of redstones as well. So yeah, overall, man, such a good change, and it's going to make it a lot easier, especially in conjunction with the new gold dungeon as well, for players to flesh out all of the equipment on their roster and kind of get above that 4 million box CC buff to get the full 12% health bonus. So yeah, just a great change all around. Then on top of that as well, we also have some changes to the Knighthood Boss, and personally I'm not the biggest fan of this, and I'll kind of explain some of the reasons why. But basically you can fight any 3 of the Knighthood bosses that you want. However, your score and milestones are only applicable to whichever one is the current season. So Kalak is the current season on JP at the moment, so if we go over to the left hand side, we can go to Enoch there. You see there's no top score or milestones here. However, the big change is that if you look on every single difficulty, there is a chance for the boss to drop partially upgraded SSR equipment. So on the extreme version, it's a 3% chance to get a gold box, and that can give you 3-star upgraded equipment here. Again, if you get very, very lucky, man, this could be a really good time. And there's also a 20% chance to get 2-star upgraded equipment on extreme. So there's like about a 1 in 4 when you kill this boss that you might get something that's, you know, a little bit spicy, a little bit good. To be fair, it's more like a 1 in 8, because there's like a trash set that's pretty useless on like every single boss. But the con that comes with this as well is that it does require stamina now to enter the Knighthood Boss. So if you're getting super sweaty and you want to qualify for Guild Wars and get like a top 32 score, you need to do like, you know, anywhere between about like 20 to 100 runs on every single difficulty, and the stamina entry cost does really add up quite quickly. So if you're a very casual player, you don't care about getting the top score, you know, you go and you kill the boss, that's your score for the week, you know, this is probably going to be fine, and you get some additional bonus stuff, but it's just not really like the best or most efficient way to farm equipment, in my opinion, especially with all the improvements to Fort Solgres. Like, it's so much easier to get gold, to siphon through the gear gacha, to get the stones to upgrade like really good base roll equipment, because even if you do get a partially upgraded piece of equipment, again, the base roll might suck. And if it's something on like a belt or a rune, you just don't want to re-roll those items, because they have so much variance in terms of what you can get, so you can easily waste anywhere between like 500 to 1,000 anvils and not get anything good. So you ideally want to still farm gear on like the specific stages to target a specific like item, and then get like a 95% gear roll on that. So yeah, I think most of the time this gear, you know, even though it looks like a little bit enticing, like partially upgraded, it's really like not that much in terms of overall materials, and most of the time it's going to cost you what would be more value in anvils to actually re-roll the base stats on it, and again, unless you get really, really lucky. So yeah, I'm just not the biggest fan of this change overall, because it means that anybody that wants to score very high on the Knighthood Boss literally has to burn like hundreds of pots every single week they're going for a big push. So yeah, I'm not really like too excited about this change, if I'm perfectly honest. But the other two, I think they outweigh this change, in my opinion. And again, some people are going to like this one. You know, if you like it and you get a little bit lucky, I certainly don't blame you. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Then on top of that as well, tomorrow we've got the Golden Wings Christmas Elaine coming to Global, which is the easiest skip banner of the century, unless they add in like Green Halloween Gotha for whatever reason. I think the only way they're going to sell tickets on this banner is adding in Green Halloween Gotha, or maybe like Ladociel as a high drop rate. But adding in Ladociel after not putting him in the Archangels banner would be a super, super scummy move there. But yeah, this Elaine just sucks, man. She looked on paper that she'd be alright paired with the King and Hendrickson team, but Goddess Liz is just so much better as kind of that third unit on the front line, and she can work on backline as well. But the thing is, if you're running the Festival King and Hendrickson team, you need to go first. Like, if you don't go first in this meta with that team, you're just dead. You are so incredibly ruined. So yeah, that team is very reliant on like maximum combat class in order to go first and dominate. And this Elaine, at least to the best of my knowledge, I don't believe has very good combat class. And also the annoying thing about her as well is she's a completely separate cosmetic set. So you'll need to buy all of the additional cosmetics, kind of fully upgrade everything as well if you really did want to fully invest in that team. But also a passive just really isn't that worth it in my opinion. It's not strong enough of a reduction to really make a significant difference. So yeah, I just found this Elaine like really disappointing for the most part, but I'm still probably going to summon on her banner in order to get maximum box CC on global, but that's only due to the fact that I'm a massive whale there. And then we're also going to have a Hawks Baby Book event, hopefully with some upgraded rewards there. We've also got Dreamlike Fantasy 2 costumes, so we've got Escanor, Merlin, I believe Gotha, and also Barn as well there. So yeah, those should be alright. Again, none of these characters, I would say Gotha's probably the most meta relevant at the moment. Merlin certainly has some relevance as well. Escanor is definitely like a little bit on the way out in comparison to what he was like 4 to 5 months ago, I would say. Barn, yeah, he's just never been like super relevant in the meta, but I might just pick up all of them for a little bit of fun. But definitely the Gotha and Merlin one. I need to double check the substats actually, because I've already got UR pieces in all slots for both. So yeah, I'll check those out tomorrow. Again, we've got ticket bundles for the Elaine banner, so I'm probably going to buy a few of these, man. We'll do some Elaine summons. It might not be the worst time. Again, the changes to Fort Solgres and Knighthood Boss. The Hawks Baby Book event looks to have a 6-star Awakening Stone as one of the rewards as well, which is very, very nice. Getting the time limit dungeon key for the Anvil dungeon as well. Again, remember, if you open the Anvil dungeon, it only lasts for 1 hour. This is very, very important to keep in mind. So you need to be fully prepared and set up with the best team that you have to farm the Anvil dungeon. And I'll be making a video tomorrow kind of going in, having a first look at this and showing off my farming teams as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's also a bit of a discount on some of the coin shop exchanges. Some stuff is being removed as well, like the what is it, Fort Solgres gold entry keys, and a lot of stuff is being lowered substantially. But again, the value of this stuff also gets substantially lowered as well. These were never like really buy items in the first place, to be fair. So yeah, just don't really worry about that. And yeah, some stuff is being removed as well in the item shop changes, and I don't think there's anything too significant. One thing I was a bit confused about, I'm not too sure if this is a mistake or whether or not they've delayed it because they added the Tower of Disaster in last week, but there's no Tower of Trials Season 3 coming, which I found very weird. I don't think ever on the Japanese version, I may be incorrect when I say this, but I think Tower of Trials is always looped back to back. So yeah, it looks like we're having a week where there's no Tower of Trials active, but again, we do have Tower of Disaster, so you know, that's kind of a halfway, and then hopefully next week we're gonna get Tower of Trials Season 3, but I really did want to see it arrive tomorrow. So yeah, overall, in terms of the patch tomorrow, man, I think like I'm just so excited for the quality of life updates to finally hit global, because this is stuff that's going to make it so much easier to farm resources and also manage your roster and equipment. So yeah, I'm really excited for the quality of life changes. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you did enjoy today's breakdown, please do smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Aside from that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day.